Welcome to Cine here, where you come for all of your media needs. My name is Ray.
It's your boy, Nicky Tay Tay.
And today, we are reviewing Sorry to Bother You.
Hi, Jeff. I'm just calling to make sure you got the lawnmower that came in the mail.
I absolutely have the lawnmower. Did you get the one with the nice wheels on it?
Yes, I did.
Well, come on. I'm going to get to cut some grass.
You betcha.
Roger that.
Directed by... sorry, stuck in my white voice. Directed by Boots Riley, starring Lakeith Stanfield. Sorry to Bother You. Completely, threw me for a loop today. So we saw Skyscraper. Sorry to Bother You today. Skyscraper, initially thought it was going to be terrible. Great movie. Sorry to Bother You. Thought it was going to be great. Not so good. I'm just going to say, well, maybe not so good is a little saying a lot. It didn't meet my expectations. Let me be careful with my words here. Sorry to Bother You, based on the trailer, seemed to be about a man, an African-American man, who had to climb his way through the corporate ladder by, let's face it, being the black guy to put on whiteface. I mean, that is the premise. Now the story goes way outside the box and expands this narrative to focus on this social construct that we as African Americans have to deal with in corporate business.
Okay.
Or at your everyday job.
Okay.
Or any interaction you may have with a Caucasian American.
Were this movie...
Or...
Sorry to interrupt you, Nick, okay? But let me speak.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, where this movie failed at to me was because it tried this big idea. I think if the story would have focused more on what the trailer showed.
You want to make some money here? Use your white voice.
My white voice.
Like this young blood.
Hey, Mr. Kramer. This is Langston from Regal View.
And just gave me a lot more jokes with the satire. I think I would have been a lot more inclined to give a good review about this movie. But because this movie was full of so much satire, and it really didn't resonate with me, the jokes anyway, didn't resonate with me, it didn't hit. This is why I probably left the theater confused and a little bit underwhelmed by this film.
I agree. The film is very weird, and I hate to harp on the negativeness of weird when you say that word, but the film definitely threw me for a loop. The film right now is classified as a science fiction comedy. That was way not what I expected, again, based on the trailer. Now, I probably should have did some homework going in, and maybe my expectations wouldn't be so focused in on a movie that was mainly directed at playing a satire on, this social construct of African Americans in corporate business having to, again, put on this white face. But this movie just goes so left field that I'm in a place where I still don't know if I appreciate it or if I should be, flippant about the whole situation.
And this is the thing. I do understand the fact that the movie wanted to show us that, corporate America is really just a place where normal people like us and y'all most likely go and just to be a cogwheel in the system. We go in just to work and, like they say, work and do things outside of work and then die. That's our life. And that's kind of what they want to portray in this movie. But also, they also want to talk about how society today shows that memes and popularity can lead people to fame even if it's based on something stupid. So I did get the concepts that the movie was trying to bring. So I do want everybody to know that. So when I say bad things about this movie, you can't then say to me, well, you just didn't understand it. I did understand it. I just didn't like it.
I'm not selling out.
Here's the starting salary. Well, man, I'm gonna have to get me some new suits.
Now, another big problem that I had with the movie is that the pacing fell out of sorts. In moments, I felt the story was very spotty or made jumps that I necessarily didn't want it to make. I was hoping for more of a consistent timeline within the story. And again, it's very difficult for me to do this without giving away a spoiler, but again, there's a whole third act of this film which, again, it's just right out of left field. I don't see some of these science fiction elements even being set up. Again, I understand that these points are to drive the bigger picture of society, but do I need that? You know, some things can be said with few words, few images. There are some things a man shouldn't ever see just to make a point. I mean, honestly.
And I'm laughing because when you see this film, you will know exactly what we are talking about. Now, I love the fact that Boots Riley took this approach to maybe make this movie way in left field. But the thing is, we have talked about this before, when you try to change or do something different, if it is not executed well, some people will come at this movie, and that's kind of what we're doing. Now, do we think that this movie is inherently terrible? No. I would almost say the first act of this movie was actually well done. And start going towards the second and third act is when I start to say, yeah, I don't know about this. And I think you're going to feel the same way when you watch this film. And if not, comment, talk to us. Let me know what I'm missing. Maybe you might see something that I don't.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so maybe there is something that I'm missing. So I'm torn with this film, but I kind of got my mind made up on what I'm going to give it.
Let me give a bit more positives for Sorry to Bother You. Again, I think Boots, for his directorial debut, did a good job at making a film that is very, I can say, very well much not like any other film I've ever seen. It is unique in every sense of the word.
In a good way.
In a good way.
Yeah.
It is original. It is something that I think a lot of people will have a debate over. It is talk worthy. There are good talking points after watching the film. Again, I just think that it being unique and it being so weird may give, you know, people a second thought about, do I really want to watch this again? Is it something I want to sit through for 2 hours to just get the message that this movie is trying to convey? Maybe, maybe not. I'm on the maybe not. It's not for me, but hey. In conclusion, Sorry to Bother You is a masterpiece of sorts. It is a movie that I think is culturally relevant in today's age. It is something that many African Americans should see. The real question is, do you want to see it? And for me, I would say maybe not. In closing, I would give the film a 6.8. I think it is unique enough to be viewed once, but it isn't something I see myself going back to see.
Now, my voice doesn't do specifically what his voice can. My white voice can only go so long, you know, until I can't talk after that. My brother voice or a black voice, whatever you want to say, you know, this movie does bring up a good debates on small things like that. But I don't know if this movie was good enough for me to even have conversations about what happened in the movie. But I do agree with Nikki Tate when he say the movie is definitely worth checking out at least once. Just to see the satire, just to see how different this movie is. I do definitely think it's worth checking out. In closing, I would have to say that Sorry to Bother You did live up to exactly what I thought this movie was going to be when I watched the trailer. A 6.5. Like I said, maybe other people might see something differently than I've seen, but I just seen a movie have a big idea, but come in real small. And that's kind of how I figure. So go check the movie out, because I definitely want to hear what everybody else got to say about this movie. If anything, it'd be good water cooler talk at the job.
That completes the review of Sorry to Bother You. It was great seeing BoJack Horseman finally star in a movie. As always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date with all of our reviewing content. And as always, don't forget, you've seen it here.
Don't forget, you've seen it here.
You've seen it here.
Golly jeepers, I love this movie.
Golly gee willikers, you've seen it.
Keep saying like
Absolutely.
Start talking like Ned Flanders, bro.
Diddly do. Sweet diddly. Abs and Tootaroonie. Yellow. You know, life's like a box of chocolates.
You never know what movie you're gonna get out of that dog season.
You know?
You might get Skyscraper, you might get Sorry to Bother You.
And as always, don't forget, you've seen it here.
I kind of feel like we did our white people voices enough, right?
Yeah, it's probably over. Short-lived.
Enjoy the review.
Enjoy it.